Yeah, I train to win. You know, I don't train for nothing else.
I want the belt. Simple as that.
I still feel like no one can beat me.
I can beat him to the punch, and I can hurt him.
I got power too, on both hands.
I need this fight for everything.
Let's do it.
I come spar your ass and beat your ass.
We ain't trying to spar, we're trying to make some money.
This the Danny Garcia show. Get out of here.
Perfect, 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 perfect.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
What's good to all my hard hitters out there? It's the right-hand man from the land, Carl Cleveland, coming at you with the last installment, the season finale of Carl's Corner, where we're going to be discussing the fight that took place between Showtime's Shawn Porter and Danny Swift Garcia. The fight took place on September 8th, 2018 at the Barclays Center. But you know what? Before we even get there, we're going to go back. The reason that we picked this fight is because recently hometown hero Shawn Porter announced his retirement, and I wanted to give him some praise on his way out. I got to talk about something he said very fast, where he gave his pops credit for being honest, saying that he didn't train the way that his father wanted him to train.
So here's the thing, and I want to make this clear that I'm not defending my dad. I'm not justifying my dad. Here's the thing is, I know my dad and I understand my dad. People out there, a lot of y'all don't know my dad, and you know him based on what you've seen, but you don't know him based on experience. Y'all in the room, y'all know him. So as I get through this, y'all will be like, all right, KP. My dad says, I can't verbatim say what he said, but he
lack of preparedness.
He alluded to me not preparing for Terrence Crawford the way that I should have. This is the first time in my entire life that my dad told me to do something. I said, I'm not doing that.
Proud of you, Mike.
So that's the first time that's ever happened in the career of us fighting, boxing, father and son, the whole nine, ever, like literally ever. And once it started to happen, my dad was like, this ain't gonna go the way you want it to go. And he said that to me a couple of times during training. And my thought process was like, this is not the right time. We need to have a conversation after it's done. But we never had those conversations. And you will hear my dad say, I knew that this was going to happen tonight. I knew I was going to have to throw in the towel. My dad has never had me say no. And so when that started to happen in camp, because of my personal decisions, I felt like, you know what, I'm going to need everything I got going to the ring. And today you want me to do X, Y, Z. I'm not feeling it.
I got to be one of the ones to say, you know what, maybe it's about time to come out and start respecting Kenny Porter, K. Diddy as a trainer, man. I thought he was talking cash, money, cash shit, but he saw what it was and he protected his son. So, you know what, I got to change my tune on how I felt about him stopping that fight with this new information. But we're going to get into this fight. Like I said, it took place between Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia for the WBC title. It was vacant at the time. All right, man. Round one, Garcia starts with a jab to the body. But then, like, really, the first minute of the round was like 3 punches thrown by Shawn Porter. And hell, Danny ain't do much better. But the thing was, he landed 3 out of the 4 punches that he threw. all jabs to the body. Round was very, very slow, but Garcia, I want to say, he landed a nice right hand with about 3 seconds left in the round. Really, it was a filler out round, but it was very, very slow. Not many punches. Honestly, Danny Garcia just won the round with throwing the jabs, the 3 jabs. He connected in a nice right hand that he landed at the end of the round. It was really nothing going on in that round. Round 2, Sean comes out and he's throwing the triple jabs, man, and he's changing levels. He's throwing to the body, he's throwing to the head, and he's trying to look for a counter to what my man Danny Swift Garcia was doing. Danny did though, man. He landed a hellacious left hook for his trouble. Porter was being more aggressive in the second round than he was in the first round. He was using feints. He's starting to throw, he's starting everything with the jab. So he wasn't just coming in reckless like we are used to Sean doing and then going to the body. He was using way more lateral movement than I'd ever seen him up until this point. Garcia did land a nice left hook with about 10 seconds left in the round, but for me, it wasn't enough for him to win the round because Sean Porter was being more active, throwing more jabs to the body. He started going to the body, and he didn't smother his punches, which is something you're going to hear me say a lot during this fight. Round 3, Danny Garcia, he lands a big right hand with about 2 minutes, 28 seconds left in the round, and it buzzed Porter. And then it seemed like, right again, Garcia lands another left hook. This time it was about, 1 minute and 53 seconds left in the round, and it buzzed Porter again. The one thing that I found very interesting, though, is when after Porter was buzzed, he became more aggressive, and that's when he started trying to go to the body more, using feints. Wasn't landing anything effective, but he was trying to show that, hey, those shots really ain't hurt me. I'm still here, still using lateral movement. He got buzzed a couple times that round and really didn't do much. So it's hard to give that round to Sean Porter, give that round to Danny Garcia. So after 3 rounds, you got it. Danny Garcia 2 rounds, Sean Porter 1. Round 4 starts off with Sean Porter being way more aggressive. He landed a couple nice right hands in the first minute of the round, about 1 minute 53 seconds left in the round. While he was backing into the corner, Sean landed a counter left hook, and Danny Garcia started going backwards, like falling backwards, retreating backwards. Then Sean, I don't know what he did. This shit was on a video game. He did like a leaping left hook and a leaping uppercut that was it was unique to say the least, but it was effective because you could tell that it got Danny's attention, and it seemed like after that, Porter started going to the body. Left hook, right hook to the body, man. Sean, this round, he really started finding his range. So he was out of the range of Danny Garcia being able to hit him, but still in the range enough for him to counter and for him to land something. Sean is really looking like a different fighter in this fight. He's not smothering his punches. He's not just gung-ho trying to go on the inside yet. It looks like he's boxing, looks like he got a plan. What was this? Yeah, he started finding his range. Yeah, landed good right hands. Sean caught in that exchange I'm talking about, Sean, he caught a lead right hand that Danny Garcia was trying to throw. He caught it with his left. He countered with a right, and then he countered with a left uppercut to the body, which was another unique combination that I don't think I've seen before. But at the end of 4 rounds, it's 2-2. I had to get that round to Sean Porter. Round 5, Sean Porter, he did something weird this round, man. He started switching stances, but the only thing I can say is he was switched from orthodox to southpaw, but then when he was switched back to orthodox, he landed a 1-2 on Danny Garcia. And he did that 2 times in the first minute of round 5. And I'm starting to think like, man, I hope he don't get caught doing this dumb stuff. But he had a plan, man. Garcia looked like he was slowing down. He would land a nice right hand, but it's one punch at a time. And you could see while Porter's throwing 3 and 4 punch combos to the body, Porter's looking faster than Garcia. Like, he really looked like he was slowing down in this round. This is a swing round. It could have went either way, man. We'll give it to Danny Garcia, but it's one of those rounds that could have went either way. Now, to me, it's in the point where Porter starts dominating this fight. 6 through 8. Porter, he's fighting on the inside and he's getting the best of Danny. Porter is starting to land lead right hands with a minute 55 left in the round. Like, he's just going to the body. He's doing everything he wanted to do. He did a little bit of inside fighting. He did a little bit of mid-range fighting. He did a little fighting on the outside. Porter is looking like a completely different fighter, and you can tell that his work with Barry Hunter is starting to work off because he wasn't smothering his punches. This dude looked like a professional fighter. He started showing off moves where he would be backed into a corner, then he'd pivot and have Garcia into the corner. Porter, round 6, up until that point, best round of the fight for him. Round 7, Porter starts the round, landing a nice 2, then a straight right hand. Like, once again, he's finding a range, and you can tell he's starting to feel comfortable, not smothering his work. Porter is turning up the pressure, going to the body. He's doing a little weird stutter step that seems like it's affecting Danny Garcia getting the timing down, the counter punch. Danny's getting slower, starting to look frustrated. Don't get me wrong. He would land a couple shots, but the shots he was landing, they did not have as much steam as they had the first 4 rounds. First 4 rounds, he caught him with some, nice shots. And you could tell that Porter was buzzed. Now it seemed like he's just walking through all this shit, man. 6, 7, I had to get a Porter. 6 and 7. Round 8, Porter starts by landing a couple jabs. Porter is throwing 2 and 3 punch combos to the head and to the body. He's looking like a different fighter. I don't know how many times I wrote this down, but he is not smothering his work. He's doing good work on the inside. He's digging to the body. Danny is slowing down. Once again, it seemed like Danny looks kind of frustrated. He wasn't expecting Porter to be able to be walking through these shots, but Porter's body work is really starting to pay off. Like, Danny is starting to look slow in this fight, and it really caught me by surprise. It's not something that I was expecting to see. Round 9, Porter starts the round throwing the jab, and it seemed like all the rounds he started throwing the jab, he's throwing the jab, he's winning the rounds. He's on the attack, he's going to the body, he's taking steam out of Danny's punches, even when he's landing counter punches. Like I said, Porter is walking through him, man. Now, don't get me wrong, this 9th round was probably the most competitive round, the 9th and the 12th round, but so far the most competitive round to the fight. It could have gone either way if you're trying to be generous, but just to me, Porter was just doing more work, man. He was digging to the body. At the end of the round, I would have rather been Porter than Danny, because Danny just looked like he was going through the motions and he was frustrated, man. Round 10, Sean is coming forward, going to the body, and Danny is retreating. He's not throwing anything back. This round, basically this round didn't get interesting until the last minute of the round. And in the last minute of the round is spent in the phone booth where Danny and Sean is going back and forth, throwing body shots, exchanging. Honestly, Sean is getting the better, but Danny is still landing, so I can't sit up here and pretend like none of that stuff wasn't landing. It was, but honestly, once again, this is a round I'd have to give to Sean. Round 11, Porter starts the round with a jab to the head and to the chest. Porter is stalking Danny. Although Porter wasn't landing that much this round, it's just the optics of Porter being on attack, Danny retreating, not throwing nothing, literally in a couple spots during the round running. And I know you're not supposed to judge rounds like that, but people is human. People are human. They're going to see that, and they're going to assume that Sean is winning, even if he's not throwing, landing the punches, because Danny really wasn't throwing nothing back. Porter, he controlled everything, man. If he wanted to fight on the inside this round, that's what he did. If he wanted to fight on the outside, that's what he did. He did a little bit of everything once again. And I really just don't know what Danny's plan is at this point, because early on you can see he was trying to time a left hook or a straight right hand to get him out of there. Once he saw that Sean could take his punch, it really seemed like Danny didn't have a backup plan. Round 12, good round. I wish it was more rounds like this where both of the guys would let their hands go. First minute of the round, Sean starts the round going to the body. He seemed like the fresher man. He was landing jabs. Mikey. Danny Garcia really ain't do nothing until the last 40 seconds of the round. That's when he started letting his hands go, throwing right and left hooks to the body, coming upstairs. It seemed like that was his last-ditch effort to try to knock out Sean for this fight. Wasn't successful. Bell ends. To me, it was another Puerto Rico. You know what? You can give that round to Danny Garcia just for being generous, man. And then we go into the scorecards, man.
WBC welterweight crown. There's Errol Spence, the IBF welterweight champion.
I need to win him, man.
Was without question.
I'm the best welterweight.
Spence on this one. There you see the super featherweight champion of the world, Gervonta Davis. And now, with the scorecards, here is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Don Ackerman scores the bout 116 to 112. Judges Julie Letterman and Eric Marlinski both score the bout 115 to 113. In favor of the winner, he is now the WBC welterweight champion of the world, Showtime, Sean Porter.
So Sean Porter gets that signature victory. A unanimous decision over Danny Garcia, and Sean Porter becomes the new WBC welterweight champion of the world.
That's how it goes, man. When I first watched this fight, people were talking about it was controversial and it was close. I watched it again, and honestly, I didn't see how it was. I had Sean dominating this fight just like I did the first time, man. So, kudos to the hometown hero, man. But once again, this was the season finale. Carl's Corner. I need y'all to be on the lookout for Jab for Jab. It's coming real soon. It's coming 2022. Be on the lookout for that. If you're not already subscribed, I need you to hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button. Become a member of the Ville. Become a hard hitter. All right, man. Carl Cleveland. I'm out.
Retro.